Okay, hello, everybody. We live now on Facebook and YouTube. Let's Talk to Podcast, and on my Facebook page, Charnel Williams. Thank everybody for joining me today. Thank those who's looking in and checking out YouTube and checking out Facebook. We here today to talk about caregivers, and I still feel like I'm staticking. We're here today to talk about caregivers. As y'all know, I just recently became a caregiver myself. So I want to learn from y'all. So Chantel, introduce yourself. Could y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Chantel, Wanda, go next. Chantel, hold on.
Hi,
Chantel, go ahead, Wanda.
Chanel. This is Wanda Calloway. What can I do for you today?
Monique,
Hi, everybody. My name is Monique Dool, and I've been a caregiver for about 30 years now.
Aisha,
Hi, my name is Elisha, and I started off as a caregiver, and now I am a medical social worker.
Candace,
Hi, my name's Candace, and I have been a caregiver for my mother for approximately 10 years plus now. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Chantel. Okay, okay. I guess she's gonna log in and log back out because we can't hear her. So Wanda, we
Yes.
want to talk to you, and I'm this for everybody. I'm asking everybody this question. What happened? Everybody, when did you became? How long have you been a caregiver for?
Oh, I've been a caregiver probably about at least 30 years.
Oh wow, you old. Sorry. So
I was a caregiver to my brother, and I also was a caregiver for my dad.
oh okay.
Yeah.
And so like me, did you have a choice to be a caregiver? Was it like you had to do it or you volunteered? Like how was it for
No,
you?
I really
You had
didn't have I had a choice, but that was something that I choose to do. That was something that um I love taking care of people, and especially if it's my own people, I definitely want to be the one that do it. So yeah, I had other siblings that could have had, took on that role, but I think I was the one that was willing to do it. So yeah, I just jumped right in and just did what I had to do, like you would do for your own child, and that's what I did.
Oh, okay. Candace, same question.
Um, what was the question? Did I have a choice?
Yeah, did
Or
you have a choice, or was it like was you had? Did you have a choice? Because people have choices in life. Did you have a choice, or did you just been a caregiver? It don't even have to be family. Like, what made you want to become a caregiver?
I really feel like it's in my blood. I was raised by a single mother, and I had a granny that was cared for by family, mostly my mother as well as my aunties. So caregiving really is in my blood. We don't put our people in nursing homes in my family. You take care of them as long as you can. And if you need to hire somebody for help, you do that. I just never came from that type of family. So, really caring for people, caregiving, offering support to people in need, and also speaking up for people when they can't speak for themselves. I've always been raised that way.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
see if Chantel can. Chantel, you can hear me now. Still can't hear you, Chantel. Still can't hear you. Check your mute. Is your mute up? Your phone up? Your mute on off? You
Blown.
can't. Okay, next, Monique. You can go up next.
I've been a caregiver for about 30 years. I started with my brother. My brother has autism and is nonverbal. I've taken care of my mom, my sister, and my 24-year-old son who has cerebral palsy. So, like the other young lady said, we don't put people, I didn't come from that. We don't put people in homes. We do what we need to do until it's, beyond our power to do. And so I believe that it's in my blood too. I've been maternal since as far as I can remember. So it came naturally for me. I was not going to allow my siblings to go into a home where my mom passed or whatever. I couldn't fathom that. So I took it on.
All right.
Okay, Miss Mayo.
So, I've cared for others working in different facilities, working with people with intellectual disabilities as well as mental health. And now I work with people who have medical conditions. So, I haven't really been a hands on caregiver, but I do help others and I do serve the underserved.
Okay, and Chantel, you still can't. I don't know, it's Chantel. Okay, now I wanted to bring people on to talk about it because I think that like caregivers are really is being underestimated of what we do. And me taking care of my mom is hard. So I want everybody to tell tell a story like why you became a caregiver, what's the do you love what you do, what's the hardest thing for you, and because everybody got their ups and downs, they days, they happy days and they days. And I know sometimes, your sibling or if you're just working in a nursing home, whatever, they can get on your nerves sometimes. So let's talk about it today, y'all. So Wanda.
Well, actually, my dad never got on my nerve. I'm being honest. I'm straight up. I've been taking care of him for about 4 years before he got dementia. Where he couldn't, got confused and stuff. But the 4 years he was with me, he was doing his thing, and then all of a sudden he just got sick, and then it was like he had to start. He had when he first had his first stroke. That's how it happened. When he had his first stroke, it knocked him down for a minute. It knocked him down for like 6 months. He had to get his strength back up. He had to eat again. All right. He had to eat again. I had to show him how to eat, yeah, how to speech again, talk. Um, so it was kind of like it was kind of easy. I mean, it was like natural. I ain't really had to like really go out my way. But it was like, okay, my dad, I'm gonna do this. I'm had to
Wait,
clean
wait,
up,
wait,
feed
wait,
them.
wait, Wanda.
Huh?
Is it me or do I sound like you static too?
Yes.
Yeah, you static too, Wanda.
I don't hear.
We don't know, Wanda. We don't know what's going on. But we're gonna say the devil is a liar. We're gonna get through this cast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I hear it.
Monique,
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
go the same question for you.
Um,
Um,
for me,
for
my
me,
son, my son, he was
he was
diagnosed when he
diagnosed when
was
he
a
was a
baby
baby
with
with
CP.
CP.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah, it's an
echo.
echo.
It's an
Yeah.
echo.
Yeah.
Everybody.
This is
Yeah,
Yeah.
this.
and
And
I've been taking care of
I've been
him for
taking care of
24
him for
years
24
now.
years now.
The hardest
The
part
hardest part
is
is
trying to care
trying
for
to care for
somebody
somebody
who literally can't
who
do anything for
literally can't do
themselves at
anything
all,
for themselves at all.
and the
And the
sacrifices that you make
sacrifices
as a
that you
person.
make as
You
a
don't
person.
have your
You
own
don't have
life
your own
like
life like
as a caregiver.
as a caregiver.
Your
Your
life
life
is
is
centered
centered
around your
around
loved
your
one.
loved one.
I have to bathe them, feed them, dress them, all of the things that you do for you every day, all day. So a lot of things, go undone until I'm able to do it because I'm one of the only ones. He's just recently got a male caregiver to help me because I've been lifting him this whole time and doing all that. So that's the hardest part, trying to figure your life out and figure theirs out too, and giving them the best possible care without burning out, hurting yourself, or being mentally, drained and depressed. It's a lot. Every day it's a lot.
So,
But
Monique,
yeah,
it is a lot because I'm just learning now as we took care of my husband mother, but everybody is different. You understand what I'm saying? And it is a lot. Like um Aisha, did I say her name right?
It's fine.
What's your name?
Alicia.
Aisha.
Alicia.
Alicia. Okay, Alicia. So you next.
Oh, can you repeat the question?
Oh, I wanted to know, how was it a choice for you to get into your the work that you do? Was it a choice, or you act like you ain't have no choice?
Um,
Choice
no.
or no choice?
I believe that it was a choice, but it was also the way that I was raised. We were taught to be there for others, regardless of anything. And ironically, I walked into a place to get a job to become a caregiver. But once he seen my resume, he's like, "Oh, you have enough credits to be a case manager, and I
Mm,
want you to take the exam to become a case manager." So I started in the Bronx working with people with intellectual disabilities as a case manager, and I would create the plan to assist them with different goals like transportation management, money management, different things. So that's how I started. And from there, I went to the shelters helping people, anyone that was underserved. So whether you was homeless or you had intellectual disabilities, mental health. And I also I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. I'm doing everything that I thought I would be doing when I was a child.
sorry, I Wanda coming back. Okay, you love what you do. So oh, Chantel not on. Okay, so everybody love what they do. Candace, you said earlier that your family don't believe in putting no one in a home.
Right.
So why did it come up? Why don't I believe that? What's wrong with homes? Is it like a bad thing y'all experienced in the past, or what's the reason why not?
From just past experience growing up in the family that I grew up in, we don't typically really require others to care for our loved ones unless we absolutely cannot do it for ourselves. So if in the position that I'm in, my mother actually had a stroke. You mentioned a stroke earlier. She actually ended up having a stroke years ago at dialysis. And
Mm,
unfortunately, she was in the hospital. And after she got out of rehab, I ended up bringing her home with me instead of placing her in a nursing home for more rehab. And she was able to do rehabilitation at my place. And I was able to get her the care that she needed without having to go into a facility. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with homes, nursing homes, rehabilitation centers, but there's always just that question in the back of your mind of the quality of care that your loved one may or may not get whenever you do place them into
Right,
facilities or institutions or nursing homes. And that is something that I would never want to tackle unless I absolutely have to.
right,
I just would not trust someone I absolutely love with all of my heart, to be cared for by people that I don't know if they have the same heart as I do. I don't know if they were raised like I was. So why would you let somebody else care for someone that you absolutely love, knowing that they may or may not feel the same way?
right,
I just could never do it.
right.
that's true. So I see Chantel back. Could you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Ah!
yep, we
Yeah,
can hear you.
Yes,
It was my
welcome back.
laptop. I
Welcome
had
back.
to log in on my phone, so I apologize.
Oh, okay, that's okay. Okay, so now we're gonna start with you, Chantel. What we? Oh, did you introduce yourself and tell us why you've been a caregiver all these years?
Okay, so my name is Chantel Bartlett, and I first started being a caregiver for my daughter. She was diagnosed with autism at a very young age, so I have been a caregiver for her all her 23 years. And then most recently, this last year, I have been a caregiver for my grandfather, and
Mm,
I have been caring for him He is a veteran, so the process is a little bit different. But I've been doing that since last December, so it's been approximately a whole year.
Hmm. So what do you? It's your grandfather and your daughter. So you had
Mhm.
experience because of your daughter.
Yes.
Wow.
Pretty much with my daughter, I still have a real good support system. My family was very supportive. They didn't really understand the diagnosis, so like, I had to educate them with, like the behaviors that she was displaying, and you know just the understanding of discipline, because you can't really discipline a child that has special needs the same way you would in
Mm,
correcting the behavior of a child that does not have a mental health diagnosis.
right.
So just educating them about that, and actually asking for help, like a lot of community resources, the school, everybody was very helpful with connecting me with who I needed to connect to in order to find like the correct and appropriate services for her, which allowed her to soar in school, because it was told to us by doctors that she wouldn't learn how to read. She wouldn't be able to
Mm.
do certain things. But my daughter reads very well. She also graduated from high school with her certificate
Oh,
in
wow.
2020, which was the
Mm.
COVID class. And she also was able to attend um, it was a school that basically they teach them independent living skills. It was in
Mm-hmm.
Columbia Fairwall. So she was able to do a lot of things that was outside of the expectations that was set for her by others, which made her a well-rounded individual. And she's so awesome. Like, my daughter is very much independent. She does have some limitations, but she definitely defeated the odds of what was put up against her. So I credit that to, all of the resources, all of my family support, everyone who went with us on this journey, because I definitely couldn't have done it by myself.
And Chantel, I met your daughter, right? That's
Yes,
the daughter
he
you're
came
talking
to.
about. I met.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Y'all don't know that Chantel was one of my speakers at my woman's empowerment.
Oh,
Oh.
So yeah. So I don't know. Is it hard? So have y'all ever thought about just giving up?
no, no. It wasn't a time that I gave up. Like, it was hard, but like I said, job almost to me. Because I get off work, I go to the nursing home and feed 130 people every day, breakfast, lunch. So then
Mm.
when I got to come home, I got to fix a meal for my dad, and myself, and I got to get him together. Get get situated. Kind of hard sometimes. I don't want to wash. I don't want to do nothing. But that was just like how I left one for another. And
And Ron, your phone messing up too. But it's hard. Like Monique, you had a couple of people you had to like take care. You ever just wanted to get in your car and drive? Like me
Yeah,
time.
I have done it. I used to sit in my car and cry for hours because I didn't have the support system that I needed. And to this day, I really still don't, but I have more than I had in the past.
Oh, okay.
Family support is almost non-existent. I have like one
Mm.
or two family members, and I have nine aunts and uncles on one side of the family and six and seven on the other, and they don't even know him.
Ain't
mm,
that
So
sad
it
though?
it is. His grandparents come by when they want to, and when I say when they want to, that's like a hit or miss. His father does not help me with him or anything like that, and he's alive and very well. And so yeah, I thought about it because I just, the mom guilt kicks in, even though it wasn't my fault that he had cerebral palsy. He was 2 pounds at birth. And so
Mm.
going through the days and the nights, like, okay, I can't even go to the nail shop if don't nobody come sit with him. I can't leave him at the house to go take out the trash. If the house catches fire, God forbid, he can't get out because he
right,
can't walk. So
right.
yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and tell you that I didn't think about giving up. I absolutely did. I wanted to put him in a home at one point because I'm like,
Mm,
my mom brain said, if you put him in a home, you're a horrible mother. But the human side say you'll
Wow.
be free, Monique, and you could do whatever you want with your life for whatever you got left, and you could let the staff do what they need to do, and you just pop in every now and then. But something in my spirit just wouldn't let me do it. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I go for drives, or I sit in the car and cry it out. I pray a lot. I mean, I do support groups every now and then with other special needs parents, and we have powwows. We get it out. We cry and admit where we are. We release it to God, and we live another day to fight.
So the support group that you in, they do work.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of I call it a support group. I haven't really started building yet. There's a couple of parents in my circle that we have kind of clustered together, and so we could phone a friend. We like, okay, I'm having a bad day. I don't
I'm
want to.
saying,
I don't feel like getting out of bed. I don't want to. Have to cook and stuff. So there are things that I have to do every single day. They are non-negotiables, and that's where the burnout comes. I have to
Mhm.
change him. He can't change himself. He can't go to the bathroom. He can't get up. I have to feed him. I have to cook his meals or whatever. He got to be bathed, dressed, all that stuff, manscaped, and all of that.
absolutely.
So
Yep.
there is no break, if you will. When the other caregivers come in and stuff, my mom brain is still saying, "Go orchestrate, make sure they're
Mhm.
doing what they're supposed to do." So my brain is like 295 all the time, and
Wow.
I'm learning now through counseling and therapy how to shut that off so I can have a life and live because I've been doing it so long. I've been taking care of people pretty much my whole life, like I said earlier, from my brother to my mother, my
Yes.
sister who
Yes.
passed from cancer, my grandmother who passed. Them two passed 2 weeks apart from each other. My
Mhm.
grandmother and my sister. My sister was 29, and
Mhm.
so just going through that whole thing, that's all I know. So now that I'm trying to have a life, it's like, what's that? Because I've been giving it, been taking care of everybody else's, medical things and bank accounts and decision making. It'll take its toll on you if you don't take care of yourself.
Mm. And how do you do that? I'm asking all the ladies that because my mother doctor told me too. Chanel, make sure you take care of yourself. How do you do that though? How?
Just do it.
So I'll
It's
say,
basically, I've been
well,
doing it
I'll
for
say
so
for
long.
me.
I've just been doing it, and I look great, and I feel amazing, and that's all I've been doing. I'm still doing it. I'm still taking care. Sister, daughter,
Mm.
that's what who they got. They got me. So hey, I'm gonna be there. And
So
like
we all.
I said, I haven't. I look and being honest, I ain't even been in a relationship because I had to take on my dad and my sister and stuff.
Wow.
I ain't been in a relationship over 7 years.
Wow.
So it's like, do I got a life? Sometimes I say that, like, do you got a life? Yeah, I do got a life. I wake up every morning. I'm thankful.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm thankful.
Wow. Thankful that you got a life. But
Right.
sometimes you do need that. You need that, like, and like Monique, as you don't, you just start like being into yourself. Like
Yeah.
what those, and I'm gonna ask Laisha this. Did I say that? I'm gonna say Miss Mayo. I'm gonna ask Miss Mayo this. What as that you do in your work experience, you go to different places, different homes and stuff. What as caregivers could we do more for the patient, even if it's our loved ones or a stranger? What do you see that's missing?
The best thing that you can do if you're a caregiver is take care of yourself. Because I hear
That's
a lot
it.
of you talking about being overwhelmed. That's what we call the overwhelmed caregiver. It's two different things between being the overwhelmed caregiver and someone that just want to give up. So you can't feel guilty because you're overwhelmed because it's normal for you to be overwhelmed. You're doing a lot more than what the average human being is doing. You take care of
Mm-hmm.
yourself and someone else, and then you probably making decisions for them. You taking care ADL skills. You taking care of their medical documents, their money management, everything. So you have to take care of yourself because the last thing you want to do is give up or burn out, and then they have no one. And now
Mm.
they're relying on all of the services that we provide. And I can't see the name. And like Candace said, you don't know if everyone has the same heart as you. You don't know if everyone was raised the way that you were raised, and you don't want to put your loved ones in hands of someone where you're always worried and you're constantly thinking like, are they okay? So take
Mhm.
care of yourself. That's the best thing that everyone can do here.
Miss Mayo,
So
say hi to my mother. Say hi to my mother.
Oh, hey girl, how you doing?
But
So I just want to add that when you said you asked, did anyone ever feel like they wanted to give up? I'll be transparent. In the beginning with my daughter, because we didn't understand what was actually going on with her until she was appropriately diagnosed. Yeah, I felt horrible. I felt like I was a terrible mother. I felt like I didn't really what was I doing wrong? I had already raised one child, like, what was going on with me. So yeah, I felt like a failure. I I went through all of those emotions. I went through deep depression. Um, but it was until I was connected with the right resources that it started to get more manageable. Being able to connect her with what she needed, because what I learned was it wasn't about me. You know, even though I felt overwhelmed, it was like, but I'm not helping her. So I needed to make sure that she got everything that she needed so she can be the best version of her. And once I took myself out of the equation, then I was able to, it became easier. And then with my grandfather, of course, that's a whole different dynamic. But in the beginning, it was very hard because now you're dealing with, I hadn't lived at home since I was 18 years old. And then coming back home in my 40s, and now you're sharing space with someone, you know, that creates a whole different issue. And then the denial, well, I don't really need this. Yes, you do. Like, you do need somebody here, because if you didn't, I wouldn't be here. So it's like going back and forth with them. And but I will say that it has gotten a whole lot easier because he's a veteran, and being able to know what is available for him and putting those services in place, I'm now starting to get the help that I need, because I work full time too. So that was an issue. Like a couple months ago, I was like, I'm gonna have to quit my job because I can't do both. I can't be a full time caregiver and work at the same time. But
so
I got real bills, so I
did you
gotta
say
work.
so you still working? Because I quit my job too. Because I knew
Yeah,
I wasn't going to be able to handle all that at one time. But so you still work
I
and you
am.
taking
I took
care
a leave
too.
of absence, but I came back to work because I can't afford to not work.
I feel you. I feel you. So you taking care of two. Monique took care of a couple. Wanda 2 or 3, and Candace. So let's ask Candace. Candace, I want to ask you a question since you don't believe in putting your. I guess none of us don't believe in homes for their family, but the aspect, what could you tell somebody about what you've been through as a caregiver, Candace?
I would definitely tell people that as a caregiver, you definitely need to, just as they say, when you're on an airplane, put your mask on first and then put, your child or your loved one's mask on next. You definitely need to take care of yourself. Early on, I was actually in my 20s when I started caregiving for my mother. She went into renal failure, and it was completely a new concept, and it was also something that I was going through basically alone, because in your 20s you're kind of hanging out, you're starting your job, you're getting your full-time career, and you have friends that still want to go out and party and have fun, and you're taking your mom to doctor's appointments, going to work, taking her to the hospital, to treatments, stuff like that. So it's definitely something that you cannot do alone. You need a support system. You need to talk to people. You need friends. Even if you don't have friends or best friends that can commiserate or see exactly the path that you're walking on, you still need to talk about it. You need to find that person that will just let you vent, because if you hold it in, you're going to drown.
Yep, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
So did you feel as though that you missed out on, because you was in your early 20s? Did you feel as though that you missed out, like hanging with your friends?
No, because what was meant for me was for me. I mean, I still could talk to them. I wasn't necessarily running around with them like they were doing, which is completely fine because we're all on our own different paths. And I completely embrace whatever chapter I'm in or whatever path I'm on. And
Mm-hmm.
my mom needed me more than the
Right.
friends.
Right. Yeah.
So I realized that I had priorities that I needed to attend to. And if those friends still wanted to be with me and hang around, then they would let me do my daughterly caregiving thing and then still be around whenever I have time to, visit with them or go hang out or, go have fun. So
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just
what is
saying,
meant
because
to
you,
be was for me.
right, and I understand that, but you was young, 20 years old, like starting to be a caregiver. You just really starting your life. You understand what I'm saying? So, but
Yeah,
your
I was in
family,
my 20s.
your family came, yeah, in your 20, your family came first. You know how
Right.
many
Yeah.
people don't even think like that?
Right.
Hmm.
They don't even think like that. And you young, and you was young, 20 years old. But
Yeah.
Wanda, you've been taking care of your father,
Yeah.
your how
My
long? You
sister.
said 30 years, your sister?
Yeah. My
That's
brother,
a
my
long time.
sister, and my father.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
And
And my
Chantel, you
girlfriend was right there with me with all, well, with the first one anyway. She was there.
so you had
Yeah.
help. So you
Yeah.
had help.
Right.
So for those who don't have help, like Monique said, you got like family that don't help you, don't talk is sweet. That's how I feel. Like they all willing to help at that time. But then when it gets here and when everything arrives, people don't want to help.
Right.
What did y'all say to those family members? Because that's crazy. Like how people don't chip in, and as a family, you'd
You're
think
right.
everybody's supposed to chip in and help out, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you can only make people do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Um, at the end of the day, I do express that to the family. Um, because I'm in a support group for caregivers for the VA, and it's much easier to talk to other people who are doing similar things than talk to people who haven't done. So
Right,
it's easy
Hmm.
for a
That's
person
it
to
right
tell
there.
you what you should be doing or how you should be doing it when they ain't never did it themselves.
Yeah,
So
right.
exactly.
it's frustrating because it's like, and you got to give yourself grace because at the end of the day, I'm human. I do feel, I have emotions. So, like I felt guilty, but you got to give yourself grace. So, I just, those people, I suggest to them, hey, I do need help. But at the end of the day, I have to do it because otherwise it's not going to get
It
done.
ain't gonna get done.
Hmm.
Right.
It ain't gonna get done. And you gotta like you said, people going to say they're gonna help you, people going to say they're gonna do this, but at the end of the day, you can't depend on everybody.
Nope.
You just gotta depend on what you gotta do for your
Yep.
loved one or whoever. But Chantel, your daughter, you said your daughter was when was she diagnosed? Because you said you ain't know what was going on with her.
She was around 7, because we initially, when she was 3, she started with the school district because we had her in daycare and
Uh-huh.
he was demonstrating certain behaviors in daycare, and
Uh-huh.
the director was like, you may want to get her evaluated, like talk to your school district and see if they can go ahead and have an evaluation done. So we did that, and I think like it's something where they can't really do an actual diagnosis until later on. But she was probably around about 7 when she got the diagnosis for autism. Everything else was just developmental delay. But I knew something was going on that was not ADHD, like the school was trying to suggest and ask for a second opinion. And that's when we got her sent to Greenville Children's Hospital, and they were able to do a full diagnosis, and she was autism, which was great because that changed everything. That changed her IEP, that changed, her development track. So all of those, and she was able to get more services.
Was you offended first when they came to you? Because a lot of people get offended, like when they say
Hmm.
your child, something wrong with your child, something. Was
Hmm.
you offended about that?
Absolutely not. Now my husband was, and he didn't take it very well. Um, which it caused a lot of issues between us because he never really accepted the fact that she had a developmental delay. He always said that, oh, it's something she'll grow out of. I don't want to put a label on my kid. I don't want to have my kid on
Hmm.
medication. So when it came to like planning for her, we always butt heads because he was not being realistic as far as how to help her. He was thinking of it more of a, I don't want to separate her and put her in a separate classroom from other people. I don't want her to have this label on her, and but you're not helping her. Because if you keep her in mainstream, she's gonna continue to have these behaviors because she was stressed out.
So he was in denial.
He was in denial.
Wow. Now that I'm talking to all y'all, have y'all ever had anyone in the family in denial of the situation that y'all was going through?
I was the one in denial because my kid was born early. So, when he wasn't doing certain things and I knew that he wasn't meeting certain milestones, like Chantel said, I just thought that maybe, because he was born early, that he would just automatically catch up. Like his brain would just click in and he would catch up.
Mm.
But when he wasn't rolling over or trying to grab toys and he would just lay there, look at me and smile, and all that stuff, I was like, okay, yeah, there's something wrong. And
Mm,
so I didn't butt heads with anybody or none of that. My family kind of just left me to deal with it because they
mm,
look at me as the strong one. So there's like literally nobody I could call just out the blue that have not dealt with Jeremiah. Say, hey, can you come sit with him? So I go to the movies. They don't know him,
mm,
and so I don't have that kind of relationship with the I call the outsiders because how you gonna invite me to a cookout? You won't even sit here and get to know me and my son. What are you
mm.
inviting me for? You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm not. I don't put myself in that situation, and I don't put him in that situation. So all of my support has been community, and I'm big on community. I tell people you got to find your tribe, and it's not going to be in your DNA. They don't understand it.
Mm.
And
Most
don't
people feel that they don't understand it.
Absolutely.
Right.
that's the truth because don't it seem like, and to me it's the strangers that is like give you more help than your own
They
family.
do. They
You
Yes.
have.
know,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. They don't want you, your family members, let's be honest, they don't want you to call and say, hey, when they tell you to call me if you need anything, it's a lie.
Yeah.
They just
Tell it.
saying that
Tell it.
because it's something to say and they don't want to feel uncomfortable in the moment. Now I've only had like two people say, look, Mo, I don't know what to do with him. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I could bring you some food that I could contribute to bring you some dinner or something. I don't feel comfortable sitting with him since I don't know what that entails since I never found out. Now I appreciate honesty. I appreciate that. Thank you for that respect. But the rest of them who talking about, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? You don't know nothing about our life and what we had to do. And all of a sudden you
Right.
become an expert because you're trying to excuse yourself from being family. So I don't even
oh
entertain it
wow.
anymore. I don't entertain that
Mm,
stuff. When they start talking about, excuse me, can I call you back? I need to go to the job. I don't even do it anymore
Hello.
because we're going in circles and at the end result, the circle is still no. So that's your fancy way of saying no. You ain't got to do all that. I've been there, done that. So it's hard. It is. They see you and then they go, you're so strong. You're so, and I'm saying in my head a couple of choice words are going, really though? Why do you think? I mean, like, why do you think I'm this strong? Where you get that from? I'm human just like you are. I want to go outside and I want to go on dates and I want to go to the movies and all of that. You figure that if you don't help me, you're gonna stop my life. Nope, because God has given me community.
Thank
mm,
And
you.
so now that I have it, now them same family members are like, well, why you ain't tell somebody something? Well, I'm like, we're not doing it. I'm just not.
mhm.
I've been doing Jeremiah's 24 years old, 24 years, and you coming up now talking about, well, why
To
you
give
tell somebody
relief.
something?
I
Right. Well,
found that in teachers. Um,
yes.
Uh-huh.
I have a
Oh,
handful of
Yes.
family members who were, willing to step in and, but others were like, they couldn't watch her without me. Like they wasn't volunteering to watch her because they didn't understand. And what people don't understand, sometimes they judge, oh well, she wouldn't be acting that way if you discipline her. Well,
mm,
you can't discipline.
Ignorance.
Whooping her is not gonna correct the behavior. You know, like this is
Right.
different, and people didn't understand that. So it was like that was frustrating too, because you know that's where you feel guilty, like people judging me, my parenting, because they saying that I'm not parenting her
Mhm.
correctly. But you know, you can't really um listen to that. You know, I'll say that I had a handful of people who were ride or die, you know, like from the beginning to
Right.
the end, from the frustrating part to
Mhm.
now.
But is it
And, you know, they were
family
willing
or
to be a
is it
support
family or
system
friends,
regardless of
Chantel?
what the behaviors were. They were there for me. So, you know, I know a lot of people don't have that. And
But
like now, you know, with my grandfather, I do have a tribe of people who, you know, they will, when you ask them to do something, or they just call and be like, hey, you know, I want to give you some relief because I know that you're doing this pretty much on your own, you know, that they are there. So yeah, but it's hard, you know. I used to do caregiving when I lived in New York for a house that housed adults with special needs and disabilities, because I guess that's just my passion.
Right.
And for me, it's no different than caring for my own family member, but you do have people that work in that field that they don't have the same compassion. I
right.
always said
Mm-mm.
that I would never mistreat anyone the way that I would treat my own family. So when I'm working with strangers, um, loved ones, I put the same effort as I would if I'm working with my own family. But you have some people that they just do it to work and have a job and have income, and they don't have any kind of
Right.
compassion for the people they
That's
work
right.
with.
None.
That's
And the
right.
None at all.
expectations are ridiculous. You know
Mm-mm.
that this is why these people are here, and you're expecting them to do things that. So why you come here to work?
Thank you.
If they could do that, they
Right.
wouldn't be here.
Thank you.
So
Right.
A
Thank
lot
that was
of
a
them
you.
little
do it for the
frustrating to see other
paycheck.
people
They
who,
they they do it for the paycheck.
I'm not gonna say
Right.
That's
mistreat,
it.
but don't give them the ultimate care that they're supposed to do. So
And let me ask you this, Wanda, because I know you work in a facility and
Yeah.
plus you took care of people
now I
home.
can't hear.
What's the
Right.
difference than working around the strangers than your own family members?
Well, actually, it's all right. I get to know a lot of,
Now I can't hear.
I think I'm static, and it's a little different because I don't know the people, and it's like you got to get to know them. Um,
Hmm.
so it's kind of a little different because some of them is mean, and you got to still
Yeah.
treat them the same way. You
Yep.
still gonna feel, you got to feel good about what you do. You ain't gonna splash them. I have seen it. I have seen some of them saying how some of them patients, they could go crazy, and they'd just be like, leave them, like I ain't doing nothing. You know, no, you know what's wrong with them, so you gotta know how to work with it. You gotta have that state of mind to work in a nursing home, especially when these people, when they going through their little dementia and stuff, and half of them don't know what they doing, and some of them saying they be in there crying. I mean, and I'm just a cook, and I could go out there and they talk to me more than they talk to the CNA, and I'm just
Hmm.
a cook, and they ask me why I can't be CNA, because I'm your cook. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I enjoy their company because they just got to get to know some of them. They be so rushing to get them in and out, and they don't take time. All them people want is you to sit with them and talk to them.
And
They
talk
just
to
want that
them.
that that
Exactly. That understanding.
right. That's all they
Yeah.
want
That love.
right there, and
And
and,
then
and
some of
they
them,
have no problem.
don't even have family members to come see them.
Mm-mm,
They do
mm-mm.
not.
They don't. I talk to this lady every day, Miss Mary. I know her name. I know her room number. I talk to her every day. She'll never have no family members. When she see me come and bring her grilled cheese, oh my goodness. I sit in there and talk to her about at least 20 minutes, and I'm just her cook. But I get in there and I start talking to them. It's like I talk to about at least 30 of them a day. I go in there and I take time. If it's only 10 to 15 minutes, I goes in their room. What you like? What's this? What you want this? So I know tomorrow I remember, when I come back, he's like, oh, you remember. I mean, some days they in, they out, but they do know. They do know. And they
Hmm.
know when you're doing something to them, they know everything. So you want to treat them the same way you would treat your family member, treat them the same way. Because you can't do
Exactly.
nothing around me and think you're going to get away with it. I'm sorry. because I'm gonna have.
So you say you telling Wanda?
Like I said, I'm gonna let them know. I might not tell your supervisor, but I'm gonna let you know what I see. You see what I'm saying? That's just me. Nothing around me, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm sorry.
And that's the truth, because a lot of people, a lot of the what I learned, that a lot of them like neglect. They sit around a nursing station and talk and chit chat. I'm sure you've seen that one. Talk and chit chat, and don't worry about. You know how many times I had to
Yeah.
call them? Like, they just don't answer the phone. You know they ain't doing nothing, but because when you go there, they doing the same thing they probably doing when you call on the phone.
Right.
Talking, laughing in the hallway, chit
Sitting there,
chatting and stuff.
right.
You know,
Okay.
so they're not doing nothing, but it's just like
They
so
working.
sad. Like how they
Yeah.
just don't care. You
Yeah,
know?
you got some of them don't, but you got a lot of them do though. Cause I seen a lot of them good, but then you'll see some of them slack. So you got some and you got, you know, but that's someplace I would never put my child, family member. I wouldn't. I
Oh,
wouldn't.
yeah. So Candy, are you still a caregiver now, or is it over with, or
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm on my 10th year of caregiving for my mother. My mother is actually on dialysis. And unfortunately, as of this year, in going on our 10th year, she was actually harmed by staff at her dialysis center. So that's actually why I came to social media in my going on 10th year as a caregiver for my mother. It was basically just to try to seek community as well as help for the situation that she was going through. Because from social media searches, Facebook groups, dialysis Facebook groups, even Google searches, things like that, my mom isn't the only one who has been harmed at a dialysis center by staff.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And it took
dialysis? She stay with you, but then she go there like a daily place, right?
Right. It is a private outpatient clinic. So, unfortunately, in our area, as well as plenty of urban areas, you'll often see a lot of dialysis centers as much as you see liquor stores.
Wow.
So you'll drive down the street, you'll see, big name, big name private dialysis centers, two specific names. One
Mm-hmm.
starts with a D, one starts with an F. And, the further that you go into certain towns, you'll see more and more of them. And a lot of people don't go to the hospital for dialysis. When you go into renal failure, you initially may start out in a hospital as an inpatient, but as an outpatient, you go to a private center. And unfortunately, private centers as well as clinics are often in the same uh, limelight as nursing homes. There is a potential where you could be putting your loved one into the hands of people that don't necessarily care for them like you would care for them.
Mm. Wow. So what, I know you probably can't really talk about your mom's situation. So she was being abused. Did you have a chance to speak to the supervisor or the person that was doing your mom wrong?
So I
Candace?
do talk about this on my social media accounts. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Um, So I do talk about this on my social media accounts, as I said, just to try to seek community and assistance for what my mom's going through. Um, there were uh, there were discussions with the management, upper management within the private dialysis center that she was going to, even prior to the physical harm that she endured. And unfortunately, one of the people that physically harmed my mother was actually one of the supervisors that we were complaining about her mistreatment to. So that was the biggest punch to the gut this year on February 9th, 2024. My mom was hurt by a patient care tech, as well as one of the supervisors that we tried to seek help from when my mom was being verbally attacked, cursed at, talked down to, and There was also just poor quality of care being given to my mother as well as other patients at the center. We tried pleading with the upper management at the facility to basically make things better for my mother. Um, at one point, um, you all may not know, but sometimes when you complain too much in a dialysis center or a clinic, they don't like that.
Right.
And the upper management, they don't like that either.
Mm.
And they often take offense to it more so than trying to assist you in making things better. They'll actually just kind of want you to go away or want you to leave and go somewhere else so you're not the problem.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's actually what the upper management person did, was on February 9th, 2024. This same person that we had been complaining to about the poor quality of care, she actually hit my mother after my mother was punched and scratched on the same day.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So,
Ooh.
wow. That's
So
so, Miss Mayo. What advice? What could you say about this?
Oh my
That's not
God.
acceptable. I'm not sure where you live, but they do have older adult protective services where you can call in and you can make a report on anyone or any facility, a hospital, anyone,
Right.
and will conduct an
Yeah.
investigation. It could be an anonymous report. It doesn't matter. That right there, that will be a priority because
Mm-hmm.
that's just not
yeah,
acceptable. And that would
Yeah.
have to be
un-
in 24 hours. Someone would have to go out to see what we would have to go out to see the older adult, and we will also have to go out to that facility to start the investigation.
Right.
It's adult
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
protective services. I think they have it in every state. It's just like child
Mm-hmm.
protective
So
services.
Yeah.
adult protective services is a different age range than older adult protective services. Older adult
Mm-hmm.
protective services start with 60 and older.
The
Yeah.
elderly, for the
Yeah.
elders.
Yeah, for the
Mm-hmm.
elderly. Yes.
It must vary by state because I know in South
it
Carolina,
does.
adult protective services covers everybody. Um,
Yeah,
so they don't
Yeah.
separate it. So it might be different
It
state.
may be
it
different here.
is.
We have child protective services, adult protective services, then older adult protective services
Okay.
Mm,
in Pennsylvania.
okay.
Yeah.
So, Candace, what did you
So
do?
I'm actually here in Indiana.
Oh, you're in
You
Indiana.
where?
I'm
Indiana.
I'm here in Indiana, Northwest
Mm-hmm.
Indiana, and unfortunately, adult protective services in Indiana, specifically Lake County, only protects people in nursing homes and people in residential
Mm.
homes. It does
Wow.
not help anybody who is in a, for
Right.
example, dialysis center. If you're
Mm,
in a
Mm.
chemotherapy clinic and you're harmed, they don't protect you. If you're in another outpatient, any sort of clinic, whether it be rehab, outpatient physical therapy clinic, if you're harmed there, they don't come in and they don't investigate anything because those are private centers. They don't
mm.
protect
Wow.
you.
Mm.
That was actually one of the first places that I thought I could rely upon because just like as you said, Elisha, um, you could go there. I was always getting like, go to this place and go to that place. I went to those places and I was turned away.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
In
Mm.
Wow.
Indiana, I don't know what's going on, but there is not a lot of protections for people who are in private centers who are physically harmed. There's
Mm.
not.
Mm.
And that's also another reason why I'm sticking with telling my mom's story about what happened to her to try to also see if I can get some light laws and some type of protection and also just get the communication going about what is happening because my mom is not the only one.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you hear
Right.
about nursing home abuse, you hear
Mm.
Right.
about people being harmed in hospitals and other places, but dialysis centers, it's really just an unspoken thing. You can do a Google search and you'll find that a man sued because he got punched and he had to be put in the hospital. And you'll find that a woman, elderly woman, I think she was a civil rights leader in her 80s or 90s. She complained so much about her quality of care down south at a private dialysis center that they kicked her out and they blacklisted her. Well,
Oh.
Mm.
unfortunately, my mom and I complained so much that my mom was also blacklisted. She's been
Mm.
going to a hospital emergency room for almost 2 months as of October 25th
Mm.
Wow.
Mm.
to get
Just
I'm
to
so
go
sorry.
dialysis
dialysis.
3 times a week.
Mm.
Wow.
I'm so sorry you got to go through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There's
horrible.
no protections in Indiana. Thank you so much, Miss Chantel. There's no protections in Indiana for people in private dialysis centers. There's not.
But kudos to you, because if you can get that done for your mom to create laws, you could be helping a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's what I'm trying to do. Like I said, social media was really never my thing. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yeah.
I was just never into it. I had Facebook like in college, you know, when I had all these friends and, you know, college mates and everything else. But after college, I was like, I don't need social media. Like, what do you need social media for? I didn't have Facebook. I barely had Instagram, you know, nothing like that. And now I'm just using social media as a way to tell what I've been through as well as what my mother has been through, to give the world my pain and also to get help with
Yeah.
dealing with all of that as a way of coping, basically.
Yeah.
So I give the world my pain, and some people are nice enough to give me help back. So we've
Hmm.
been through a very hard situation, and um, yeah, it just I just hope that just by me creating the conversation and being here with you lovely women today and talking about what my mom and I have been through, it will just spark the conversation to make a change, not just in our state or in our area, but all over the country,
Right.
because there needs to be more protection for people who are in vulnerable situations, whether it be like Miss Monique's son, or whether it be, you know, Wanda's father, or whether it be my mother, or whether it be Chantel's daughter. We all have vulnerable people in our lives, or we're vulnerable people ourselves, and we don't need to be dropping them off to a dialysis center, a chemotherapy clinic, or school, or anywhere else and having someone harm them. We just don't
Right.
need that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we're already going through so much. Our loved ones are also going through so much, whether they have chronic illnesses. And I feel like just everybody deserves so much better than what this world has given back to us.
Mm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this question: whatever happened to the people who was abusing you? Did they get fired? Whatever happened to them?
No, no.
Nothing.
The
Mm.
woman who punched and scratched my mother, um, as you might see if you go to my social media accounts later, I'm on TikTok as well as Instagram. The woman who punched and scratched my mother on February 9th, 2024, is still working at the same dialysis center where she punched and
Mm.
scratched my mom.
Mm.
And they actually took her away for about a month, and then they brought her back. And she was
Mm.
actually allowed to work across the room,
Mm.
but then told to stay away from my mother for my mother's protection.
Wow.
Mm.
And
Mm.
I actually called 911 on the day that my mother was harmed on February 9th, 2024, when she told me that she was punched, and she called me crying. And she was also scratched on the hand when she tried to basically block her catheter lines because she has a dialysis catheter. And I called 911, and the staff actually took up for the person who harmed my mother and tried to lie to the police about
Mm.
what did and did not happen, even though there was really nobody on the floor to witness besides the people sitting around her that were on the dialyzer machines or dialysis machines. But the
Wow.
Mm.
staff who were not in the room tried to lie and tell the police officer that responded to my 911 call that my mom basically just made up the whole story.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Wow. So you couldn't even press charges.
The police officer that responded did not want to press charges after speaking to specifically the nurse that was in charge that day. Because obviously, you know, I'm just a caregiver daughter and my mother is just a dialysis patient. Why would they believe us over a registered nurse, I guess?
Yep.
Um,
Mm.
the
Yep.
police officer had more camaraderie and more respect and gave more attention to the staff, specifically the registered nurse there, than he did for my mother as well as myself. He took my mother as a joke. He barely even
I
spoke to
believe
her
it.
that day.
I believe it.
Mm.
So I'm glad you got your mother out
So
of there. So
unfortunately,
she had
it's
to go
still an
through it.
ongoing issue.
Wow. And it won't
Mm.
help. You ever thought
Yeah.
about? I know I ain't trying to
And the
tell you to run
facility
away. Have
administrator
you
is
ever thought
also still
about moving?
employed.
Have you ever thought about moving
I'm
like
sorry.
out of Indiana?
We have thought about it. Um, Unfortunately, I also work full time. It would be a issue with, juggling, moving my career, my longtime career. It would also be an issue with finding my mom a dialysis center because I think I mentioned earlier, my mom's actually been blacklisted. Um, she cannot go anywhere in Indiana or even Illinois to get dialysis. The person who harmed her the second time on February 9th, 2024, was the facility administrator of the dialysis center. And the
Mm.
facility administrator has basically made it a point with the staff, like the social worker, the patient care techs, to basically disparage my mother's name. Um, they ruined my mother's chances to get a transplant at two hospitals. And they also
Mm.
ruined my mom's ability to get dialysis at any other private center in the Indiana and Illinois area.
Mhm.
Mm.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's
Mhm.
why my mom goes to the
Mm.
hospital 3 times a week. I drop her off and I pick her up.
Mm.
We have thought about moving, but just packing up, Miss Charnel, is just not that easy.
Right.
We all can't just pack up
Right.
our lives and just move when something
No, we can't.
happens. So we're trying to face this head on and deal with this the legal way as best as we can, or just by talking about it and spreading the information around. So in hopes that this doesn't happen to anybody else ever again,
Right.
And
because the
start going
situation
to
that my
the
mom is
news.
in, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, start going to
It
the news
is.
stations, call some
Yeah.
activists to come out and shed some spotlight because a lot of people
Yes.
don't know that about though this is my first time hearing about, you usually hear about residential facilities and um
Yeah.
homes, but I've never heard of that with like
A
the
dialysis place.
dialysis places. So you
Hmm.
definitely need to reach out to some people that could get this more national coverage because they'll have to
Yes.
do something if you keep making noise.
Well, the way she sounds like everybody is on everybody's side except for her mother's
Yeah.
side. The
Right,
Cosby
so
Yeah.
she got to
everybody.
get more support on her side.
Do you
I
guys
think
have
if
a
you
Yeah.
public?
make it more known,
Yeah,
they'll have to start doing something.
maybe reach out to a public advocate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That,
what I've been trying to do with my social media accounts is just trying to reach people as best I can, and also get the conversation going. And also, I had a um, also there's in dialysis centers there's also like this code of silence, the bystander effect. So whenever you
Mm.
see somebody harmed, unlike us, obviously, we're probably the type that's going to speak up and say something. There's a lot of people in vulnerable situations that could potentially end up like my mom, blacklisted and not able to go to a private dialysis center. So they're scared of speaking up.
Oh,
So
Right.
there's
right.
other people that are
Yeah.
harmed. There's
right.
other people that are talked down to. There's people that are being pinched, having stuff thrown at them at this dialysis center, and they're scared. They can't speak
Wow.
up
Yeah.
because they've seen what has happened to my mother and they don't want it to happen to them too.
Well, if
So
everybody on everybody's side, and the end, maybe you need to
Oh,
take this to the
Jesus.
White House. You need to go higher. You need to talk
Yeah.
to like even though like public figures and stuff like that, and take it to the next step.
Also, the news, your
Yeah,
local outlet as well, your local news outlet as well. You can reach out to them.
yeah. I've just been trying to, as much as I can, just talk to people. I even talk to strangers. I'll be in the hospital just sitting down next to a person. But yeah, Miss Elisha, I have reached out to different news sources, and talked to different type of advocates and also activists as well to try to just get the conversation started about just dialysis in general, and also being a caregiver to somebody on dialysis who was harmed or harm in dialysis centers, because people my age, like I mentioned, in my 20s, not a lot of people knew what dialysis was or renal failure. People don't know how you can go into renal failure. it's just a whole lot that comes with the situation. So I try to mention different topics here and there, especially in my social media accounts, just to get the conversation started and to get things to resonate with people. So whether people are offering me assistance like you all are trying to do, give me great advice, which I so appreciate. And I'm really happy to be here. Thank you so much. Um, I just really want to just start getting people to realize that you can go into renal failure because of multiple things. And, one day you could have a bad blood pressure or your diabetes can go unmanaged or, over long term, if you don't realize you have high blood pressure and don't take medication, your kidneys can fail and you could have lupus and other things. So I just really want to get a lot of conversations across America started in regards to this, and also get justice for my mother as well, because she is so deserving of a better life and justice. And it
And
breaks my
Mm-hmm.
find
heart that
out
I can't just get
Absolutely.
that for her.
and find
Right.
out
Right.
who your local representative is in that district so you can talk to like your local lawmakers, because
Hmm.
that could also help you as far as like getting a bill or something passed. You can do that
Yeah.
as well.
That's a great idea. That was actually on my list of things to do. I've been actually letter writing. Who does that anymore, right? Most people I feel like send emails, but um, I started a letter writing campaign that I was going to initiate because I've been doing emails and I guess those go to junk mail or whatever people say. Not many people would read a long email from some random person. So I'm definitely going to utilize that and also put together some information and start trying to disseminate that to local lawmakers in hopes of making a change. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I hope the best for you
Thank
because
you.
that's great. It seems
Absolutely.
like
Absolutely.
everybody is down with each other. Like I just can't believe like the people didn't get fired. Like I can't believe that. They didn't get fired. Ain't nothing happened to
Mm-mm.
them. They ain't even go to jail for assault.
No,
Yeah.
no,
That's crazy.
because if you have a whole stack of people backing you, why would the police believe a elderly patient? And the
Mm,
bystander effect, you have a whole room of people who could potentially lose their access to dialysis in a private center. And they would
Hmm.
also have to start going to the emergency room, like my mother, 3 times a week for speaking out or complaining.
Hmm.
So
Mm.
why would you speak out? Why would you act like a witness? Why would you take the chance of doing that? I completely understand that point of view. It's just sad that it's my mom who people witnessed being harmed and they didn't do anything about it.
mm. That's so sad. I wish you the best and your mom the best. So now that you're in the emergency room, is it better? I know it might be different, but is it better?
Um, it is. Unfortunately, the wait is long because it is an emergency room and regular treatment of dialysis. It's, not an emergency. So emergency rooms are for emergencies. We completely understand that. But my mom's regular dialysis treatments are not necessarily an emergency, but they're a way of life. So the staff, the ER staff, they're wonderful people, most of them. They have now, because we're going on 2 months, come to realize that this is just my mom's way of life now because she doesn't have a dialysis center. And so they treat her like she needs to be treated. But sometimes, there might be a patient that needs dialysis on the actual floor of the hospital. So they'll get priority over my mom who's sitting in the emergency room waiting. And she initially, when she had started dialysis in the emergency room, she was waiting hours, many, many hours.
Hmm.
And there was some days that I would try to sit with her and she'd be like, "Baby, you just need to go to work." She's like, "I'm going to be here. I'm okay." We had people coming to sit with her, friends, family members, just people just to come sit and just, chat with
Keep
her and
her
keep her
company.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
That's
the treatment, as far as her not being harmed, talked down to, physically punched, assaulted, having things thrown at her,
hmm.
whenever she does speak up about her autonomy, whether it be, okay, well, um, this needs to happen, and this needs to go well. And her directing her own care on the dialysis machine, stuff like that, it's well perceived at the hospital versus not so well at the private dialysis center. Because at the private dialysis center, it's like they knew everything. And even if you were, you're a completely autonomous person, you're completely different from the next person, they just wanted to treat you like everybody else. And you can't do that in medicine or healthcare or anything in general.
Right.
So
That's that's sad. That is real sad. But it didn't. You didn't stop. You still you fighting for your mom, and you keep going, and that's the
Yeah.
good thing. You just
Yeah.
keep
yes,
going.
yes.
I'm telling you, better go to the White House and stand on that what they call that at the White House. Get you some people and go down to the White House and make them hear your story. Tell your story, and that's good. The platform, like you said, you never been on. You wasn't into Facebook and all that stuff, and now the
Yeah.
platform. Maybe you'll reach somebody on one of these platforms. You know.
I'm hoping so. Yeah. And maybe, being on your show, Miss Charnel, hopefully somebody will see us and, reach out to us and offer us all assistance and become a part of our tribe, because we all so need support and help in people who care and wholeheartedly care, not just say that they care and then really just don't. Like,
Because you get a lot of that, right? You get a lot of
A
that.
yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure we all do, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
definitely. You get those people who say, if you ever need anything, I'll help you. I'll be through, I'll come through for
that's a
you. And
joke.
it's like, okay, hey, I need help. Where are you?
I
Okay,
got
forget it. I'll
something
just
to
do it
do.
myself.
That's a joke.
Right.
Nobody ain't willing to
Yeah.
help you, and it's a good thing. Like when you first started, when you first put the plan in place, and everybody said they're gonna be there for you, they're gonna help out, call me when you need me. But then when you call them or when
Exactly.
you need something, you just don't, And then sometimes you don't feel like to me, like me. Sometimes you don't feel comfortable asking people because you can tell by somebody's face expression if
Yeah.
they really want to help
Yeah.
you or not.
Yeah.
Oh
You understand
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then you just back up like, oh, they ain't serious,
Hmm.
So
But you
They
shouldn't
always
really
let
have
you
to
know.
ask. If you got sisters and brothers and
Thank
stuff, I
you.
think everybody should join in and everybody should come in and do a little part
amen.
here. If it ain't nothing, but let me wash the clothes, or I go cook,
Exactly.
I do this, or
Yeah.
I sit with her for about 3 hours, watch a movie with her. I mean, everybody participate in it. I think everybody get through.
Yeah,
Everybody
but it
have
don't.
a little bit of
But
time.
Wanda, it
Yeah.
don't happen like that in the real world.
It sure does not.
In a
Well,
nursing
It
home, it
doesn't.
actually,
don't work that
I'm
way.
telling you this. I'm telling you that because I have a daughter that had my back from the beginning and to the end. I mean, what I needed, what I wanted, what he needed, how he wanted. That was my backup. I'm still breathing. That was my backup right there. You see what I'm saying? So you got a sister and you got a daughter that's coming in, maybe cutting in the little cracks. I might have to be gone for like 3 hours. I got somebody for that 3 hours. I got somebody for that 2 hours. You see what I'm saying? But you got to have somebody, at least one body. I don't care, one body. That's even,
You can't do it by yourself.
you could get through it. You've got one body. You know what I mean? Because you got somebody there for you to breathe for a minute. You know what I mean? But if you ain't got that one body there, it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be kind of hard. And at the beginning, it was hard for me like that when I was taking care of my dad, because my daughter, she was sick. So she couldn't really take on his responsibility. And then she's sick too. It's mornings that she felt sick that she couldn't even get up and cook breakfast and do anything. Feed her own self, let her get up and feed my dad. You see what I'm saying? So those are the days I couldn't go to work. Those are the days that I couldn't really do anything because she's not feeling good. Now I gotta take care of her and take care of him. Now I miss a day of work. You know what I mean? And I ain't care about all that. Cause I felt though, okay, them same bills and everything gonna still be there.
Yeah.
I figure you out.
That's true.
But right now, I got to deal with dad and my daughter. You see what I'm saying? They come first. And then and
Yeah.
when the long run came, everything came out like it's supposed to. I'm back on feet. I'm back at work. You feel what I'm saying? I lost my dad. I wish he was still here. It's been 2 years
Oh,
since he been gone.
Sorry to
But
hear.
my
Okay.
daughter's still sick, and I'm still taking care of her, and I'm still managing the work and everything and stuff like that. But you gotta have somebody there to help out. So you gotta have at least one person,
And make
somebody
sure
that's gonna be
you like
dedicated
downtime.
and want to do it, just want to do it. You know what I mean? You can't make
exactly. That's
nobody
the
do
thing right
anything.
there.
You
Right.
shouldn't have to ask. They should just join right in. And I'm going through this situation
Mm.
again, but this time it's my sister. This is my older sister. She's 65 years old. She had a stroke. She right now she in New Edison hospital. But she gonna have to go to a rehab. She on dialysis. They say her kidneys is messed up and stuff. Um, they say she had what's that, something on the brain, I guess. So
Mm.
right now she like touch and go and stuff, and she have 6 children, and there's only one that's really dedicated, and it shouldn't be like that. It's still 5 more, y'all. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and she asking me what should
Hmm.
she do and how to do this, and because she know I've been doing this for a long time, and like I told her, it's not fair, and I wouldn't want her to go through that by herself when she got other siblings. You see what I'm saying? And she just need to go and talk. She the oldest, so she just need to get
Why
all
would
them
she
together
have?
and talk to them.
She shouldn't even have to go through all of it by herself.
Right. She
If
shouldn't
she
even
got
have
other
Right,
to.
siblings.
Right.
Right.
right, and that's what I told
Yeah.
her. She doesn't have to, but she doing all this by herself with her mother.
Mhm.
You know.
Mm.
Been
Wow.
there, done that, sis. Been there, done that. My grandmother have 8 children. I
Yeah.
am the grandchild, but I was the one taking care of her when she had a stroke. She was living with me for almost a year, and I was in college.
Right.
Oh, wow.
8 grown children. Ain't
Right.
nothing but 8 grown children. But then when she unfortunately passed, then here they come, pulling rank. Well, I'm the next of kin.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I'm in the same situation. I'm the grandchild, but
Okay.
at the end of the day, it's gonna be well. That's my daddy.
Yeah, and I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest grandchild. I'm the first grandchild. So it wasn't nothing, for me to take care of her. I'm like, you took care of me my whole life. You had me from like 2 weeks old. It wasn't even a no-brainer. Yeah, I was in school and all of that, and my son just had spinal fusion surgery, so I had double duty. And, slowly but surely, they started showing themselves. They're like, why is mama giving you money? Why is it your business that grandma's giving me money?
Now, don't they
You
be all
know?
in the business, but they won't come over here and
Yeah,
sit for a
she's
couple of
like,
hours?
don't be giving her money. My grandmother said, listen, you take this money. I'm using your water. I'm using your electricity. I'm giving it to you. Or whatever. And I would just put it, to the side somewhere, whatever, because I didn't need it. But I'm like, why is it your business? You're not even here. You won't even come sit, like you said, sit, so I could go sit outside and stare at the trees if I want to.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
even I'm telling you, all you got to
Hmm.
do is get sick or let somebody die. You will see the true colors come out. They just,
Right,
I've never,
Yeah.
right.
seen such foolery and dysfunction in my life. I'm like, if you act like she left some $1 million life insurance policy the way you acting.
That's crazy. I
Or
don't know
people wanting
about
to
money.
do
I,
things.
I I can't get with that.
Huh?
I can't
Say
get
that
with
again.
everybody want money, money, money. You
I
know,
mean, yeah, that's all they're after. And
that's
it was sad
crazy.
because somehow, some way, she had money somewhere, I guess. And
That's
the
sad.
oldest gave all of the siblings money, saying that Mama said to divide it equally. So then the aunts and uncle said, "Well, where's Monique's money? Because she been here
Mm,
since day one." And this aunt said, "But she's just a grandchild," and gave me
right,
nothing.
right,
Oh,
But
wow.
you the grandchild that was helping all these years. You the
right.
grand
I know.
couldn't have a
And
life.
then, and if that wasn't bad enough, then she told them, "Well, won't you give her some of your money then?"
Mm.
I told them, "Don't you give me a dime. Don't
Right.
worry about it. Don't worry about it."
But it's
I
the
was
sense
like,
of
okay,
entitlement because
yeah,
people think that
yeah,
just because they're your parents or whatever, you can do the least but you expect the most. And
Yeah.
it
Come
doesn't
on.
work like that. You know, you
Yeah.
should be wanting to take care of your loved one because that's your loved one. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come down here to do it for anything. I was willing
Right.
to do it for nothing because that's who raised me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
when people say that,
Mhm.
oh, you get paid to do such and such, well, I didn't, even if I wasn't getting paid to do it, I still would have done it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
And
Thank
then
you.
that's regardless of
Yep.
whatever. That's still my parent, you know, because he
Yeah.
raised me. So I would do it even without the money. But why is
Right.
that your concern? Like you're not gonna do something because you don't get paid to do it? Like
Yeah.
that
Exactly.
baffles me when people bring that up, you know. So
Yeah.
but you can't control what other people do. You only
Right.
can
Right,
That's
control
right.
what you do.
Yeah.
right.
And at the end of the
Right.
day, I feel good with God with why he has me here. Cause I am in a
Exactly.
position where I can take care of my grandfather,
Hmm.
so that's all I worry about. If you pay attention to what's going on around you with other people and their opinions about things, you'll run yourself crazy. So
Yep.
And this what I don't
Absolutely.
understand. Why someone always trying to tell you what to do, but they wasn't willing
Exactly.
to do what you're
right.
doing. Or
You don't
always
take
trying to
advice
give
from them
advice
kind
to
of
you.
people. You don't take them advice from them kind of people.
Nope.
Yeah.
If your advice is not corresponding with your action of volunteerism, I don't want to hear it.
Right.
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 You don't get to
Yeah.
give me advice. You have not walked a day in my shoes, so you can't tell me, well, if I was you, I would have, or why don't you? I don't. I listen. I cut you off nicely. Listen, baby, I've been doing this for almost 30 years.
Right.
Every scenario you try to give me, we've been there, done that. If it was that
Okay.
simple, it would have already been there already. Don't you think?
Hello.
I don't know what they think we do as caregivers, y'all. I'm serious. These family members just think we just sit around all day and eat bonbons and collect checks or
For
something. Baby,
real. For
listen,
real.
baby. I do not. I don't
And
even
you
get to
be
sit around all
tired.
day.
Do y'all
Yeah,
have people
exhausted.
that like question you for like when I get a weekend free, I like to sleep. I like to
Okay.
get my rest, clean my house.
Mhm.
Like if I get a
Mhm.
day to myself, I'm doing absolutely nothing. And people be like, "Oh, well, you don't never go nowhere." Well, I have a lot of things that I do during the week, and
Exactly.
you know,
You have
like
a
Yeah.
I don't have
life.
time to want to go out. I enjoy being able to stay at home and get me some hours of sleep to myself. So
Right.
you
Mhm.
know,
But then y'all
Yeah.
notice some people think y'all don't do nothing. They don't think taking care of someone is a big
Listen.
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, you ain't doing nothing today. Like, I ain't
I
doing
hate when
nothing
people say
today.
that
Like,
word. I hate when people say I'm not doing
It's-
nothing. I
That's
hate it. I hate it. I hate it. As soon as they
it.
say
Just
it, I
comes from
say,
a
let me
place of
stop doing my
judgment.
nothing. Yeah, basically. Yeah. I
Yeah.
told one of my family members the other day, let me stop doing my nothing and see how far you get.
Mm.
mm.
See how long you last with me doing nothing.
Uh
Right.
huh.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see how
Or you
many
know what?
hours it lasts.
Or listen, they come and trade a day with you. Let's see. Let me show you that I'm not doing nothing all day. Let's trade places for a day.
You won't see that person no more.
Mhm.
For
You won't.
real.
Thank you. You
Well,
don't call
For
me.
real.
I'll call you.
For real. Cause they'll be
because
like,
every day is
wow.
different.
Like,
Every
Dad, you
day
do
is
all
different.
that?
Yes.
You don't have a day
Yes.
the
You do
same.
all that? Like, Dad, I thought you just for
Mhm.
real you do this? Yes,
And
I
that's what
do
you get for
this. And
running
I
your
do
mouth.
that. When I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
get a chance to do that, I will. But no, I'm doing this and doing that, doing that. That's a lot of work.
It
Chanel,
It
is.
it's a lot of
is.
work.
It
Every
is.
But I
day, all
think you
day.
could do it. I think
Yeah,
you can
Hmm.
handle it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
And
got
Yeah.
then
you.
when they say
But
stuff like, "Why don't you go take a trip or go take?" Okay, when are you coming to watch him so I can go? That's all I'm saying.
Uh huh.
What time you be here? Cause my bags is in the closet. So when will you be here? So cause my bag is already packed and my car stay gassed up. So what time will you be here? I'll have his food and stuff ready, and I'll put some instructions there for you to do. You ready? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Well then be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Don't be offering
mhm.
suggestions when you're not gonna help.
I believe that nobody will ever want to trade places with any of us or any caregiver
No,
in the whole world,
no,
because a lot
at
of people
all.
think we don't do nothing. We just sit there. I gotta try to watch my shows when I can watch my shows. You understand what I'm saying?
hmm
So it's like
Ooh,
Mhm.
say that.
it's like it's like crazy. And then on top of that, you know how many times I forgot to take my medicine?
Mm,
Thank you. Guilty.
yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I forgot to do
Guilty.
what I need to do. You understand what I'm saying? So, I don't think nobody can take my place. I don't think
Right.
nobody
They
And
can
that's the
take.
won't.
scary part.
They won't.
Right. And that's the scary part. Imagine you try not to fear being sick or something like that because you know that if you do and God forbid something awful happens to you, your child going to foster care.
Mm,
Okay.
Well,
mm,
I'll tell you what my doctor
Yeah.
told me because I developed high blood pressure since I've been dying.
Mm,
And
wow.
she told me, she said, if you don't get this blood pressure under control and take care of yourself, you ain't gonna be able to take care of nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
nobody.
So when
Exactly.
she said that, I
Yeah.
said, oh yeah, I gotta do some things differently because I got too many people
Hmm.
depending on me. So I gotta
That's
make
it.
sure that my health is first and foremost.
And that's why everybody need a backbone.
That's
Because
why I
Yes.
said you need
everybody
that
Hmm.
need
one person. You need that
yeah,
Just
one
one.
person
everybody
with
need a
you.
yeah, everybody need that backbone because you can't do it all. Like I try to do everything by myself. You can't I can't I be so tired. Like I'm telling y'all the truth
Don't
right
do that.
now. I can't even watch the 10 o'clock news no more.
You
I be like I be so exhausted I fall asleep now. You understand? I be
Uh-huh.
dozing off, catch the weather, and I just fall asleep. Like I used to be up watching the news. You know how you get your shows and get your little stuff, do
Yup.
everything before
Trying to
the show
catch
come
up.
on.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just like it's like hard now.
Hmm.
Like why I'm falling asleep now early.
Yeah.
It's just
But at
because
least you
you be
fall
so
asleep.
tired. Yeah, you be
At
so
least you fall
exhausted.
asleep. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm wired because I don't go to sleep when my body's tired. So I'm
Well, I
wired.
think I
So
think y'all all I think y'all all got it. I've been through it
yeah,
already. My mission
yeah.
is over. Now it's all about me. So I think I got faith in y'all women. I think y'all could do it. I did it.
Amen.
I
Absolutely.
think I think y'all got this.
Thank
By the
you.
grace of
It's
God, we're doing it.
it's in y'all. I'm by me talking to
Amen.
y'all. It's in y'all. Y'all got this.
God only
Hmm.
gives the strongest soldiers the task
There
that
you
He wants
go.
to
There
complete.
you
So
go.
that's how I look
Mm.
Yep.
at it. He ain't gonna
Well, I
give us
told
Absolutely.
him take me off the
something he
list.
can't do.
Wow.
Take you off the list, Monique.
He
Yeah,
honestly,
I'll take me off of the strongest soldiers list, please and thank you. I'm being honest. I'm telling you, I'm this transparent on my podcast. I tell you the honest truth. I'm so serious. They my family be looking at me. I said, stop asking me questions. I am not the strongest one anymore. I retired.
Mm.
The hardest thing,
Ask somebody else.
the,
Google it.
the hardest
Anything else but me.
She wants to
one,
be the softest soldier.
yeah,
I want to be the backup.
Hmm.
the
What you
hardest
was saying,
about
Natalia?
the hardest thing about being the strongest one is that you never have you never have that same person in someone else when you need it.
Thank you. Oh
You
my
Mm.
never,
God. Come on,
and a lot.
Yeah.
preach.
Like I think I shared this with Miss Darnell when I was there visiting her mom. A lot of times when I leave houses or when I leave a consumer, even in the hospital or the facility, I leave with that stress and I leave with everything and I take it with me because now as I'm driving
Yeah.
the community, I know this one over here needs this and this one over here don't have anybody and this one may need
Hmm.
food, this one may need that. And
Yeah.
sometimes I break a lot of the rules because it's in me. This is like, regardless if I was getting paid or not, I'm gonna do it because I
Right.
know it could be me. It could be my parents. It could be
Thank
my
you.
brother.
Hmm.
It could be anyone.
Thank you.
And,
Yeah.
and a lot of times it gives me life to know that I was able to be that person that I don't have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yep.
That's me. I
Yep.
think that's
Same
why that
here.
nursing home love me so much. And I'm just they cook. I'm they chef. They love my food. And if I miss one day, they be they be mad at me the next day when I come in. Like, where you been? Like, I gotta take a day off. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I give them that love. I put that love in that food, and I give them that love there. And I'm like I said, I'm all over the place. I should have been a doggone doctor, somebody, a CNA or somebody. Cause I mean, I
and
love
that's
people.
what
Hmm.
and that's what it
I
is,
love
Wanda.
people.
It's the love. that you
Yeah.
It's
showing
the
them.
love. That's all.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
love that you showing them because them
Yeah.
nurses or CNN, whatever they call, they just come in, do what they got to do, really don't want to be there, and then leave out. They
Hmm.
probably don't talk the whole
Absolutely.
conversation. Everybody want to hold the conversation. You
Right.
understand? Even if you
Mhm.
don't
Yeah.
understand nothing what they talking
Girl,
about.
I'm telling you, and I really don't be understanding half of the stuff, but I'll be like, uh-huh, yup, girl,
Exactly. They just want you to
yes.
listen.
You know,
Yeah.
let them
Yeah,
know that I'm hear you. I hear you. You know what I mean? And that's all they want, for real. They don't want much.
Right.
That's all they
mhm,
want, you know,
And
and
that's
half
all
of them
we
don't
want
even get
too.
it. Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of
Mhm. Yeah.
once a lot of times once you're sick and you're in a certain situation, first is the embarrassment. So you isolate yourself because you're embarrassed that you're not able to
Yeah.
do the things you were able to do.
Right.
You
Right.
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to say, hey, I need help. I need help to sweep the
Mm-hmm.
floor. I need help to clean my behind. I need help to go to the it's hard. And a lot of
Yeah.
times you don't want people to know that. And now when people know, it's like, well, are you gonna start treating me different because I feel different because I can't do the things I was able to do
Mm-hmm.
before, and
Thank
then
you.
isolated in those
Yeah.
facilities. I had a guy come into the office and I'm walking out of the conference room to go on a visit and I'm like, how you doing? You all right? How you doing? You enjoying your day? He started crying. He 82
Mm.
years old.
Mm.
Oh.
Everybody know was gone. And he's like, you the first person that asked me how I was doing in years.
See?
See?
wow.
And
See?
Wow.
when I
See?
Yeah. Makes a difference.
And you
was
got to take in consideration, my grandfather will be 89 next Monday, and he
Mm.
was very independent. He used
Yeah.
to golf, he used to do things, and now he's limited. So it's frustration
yeah,
because
Yeah.
now you
Yeah.
can't get up and do things when you want to do it, and you got to
Right.
have somebody help. So a lot of the anger that he displays on me, because I'm pretty much the primary person he engages with every day, that's where it comes out, and it bothered me at first, but now I understand that it's not really me he's frustrated with, it's the situation.
Mm-mm.
So but
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
now that he has more help because I have like other caregivers who come in and relieve me, the relationship has been better because it gives me a little bit of leg room to where I'm not the only person, and it gives us a break because I think for like 2 3 months it was we see each other too much. we need a break.
Mm.
We need a break. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
having other people come in, that kind of gives them a break too. So,
Right.
oh,
Your loved
And that's
ones
what
know
I
the
think it is.
sacrifices
I
that you
think
make too.
everybody need a break. I think it's
Yeah.
all
Oh
about
yeah.
taking a break because you can't just be
Mhm.
with somebody 24/7. They
Right.
I
want you,
tried it.
and I'm not just talking about as being a caregiver. If you married, you gotta stop. You just it's too much. You
Right.
understand?
It's too
Twenty four
much.
seven.
Mhm.
Yep.
Something bound to get said that you
Right.
might regret later. You
Yep.
understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's just too much, and I think everybody need a break. Not just
of course.
we
Mm-hmm.
need a break from the caregiver. I think everybody, even the patients need breaks too.
Yeah.
You know,
Everybody need me
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
yeah,
Everybody need that me time.
Yes.
I
right.
don't care if it's a couple of hours. You still need that. You need that woof. You know what
Amen.
I mean?
Yeah.
You don't get
That's
that,
what
boy.
I
Mm-hmm.
You gonna be like,
yeah.
you got to get that, or you gonna lose your mind, and that's something that you can't, because you got to get all this together. So you can't lose it. You know what I mean? You got
Lose
to keep it
yours.
up.
Right.
You got to keep it up. So you got to get your me time in.
So let me ask y'all all, what do y'all do for me time? Everybody, what do you do for me time?
Sleep.
Okay, Chantel say sleep. Candace, what do you do for me time?
Well, I'm with Chantel.
Um. Initially, I do sleep. Yes, yes. Miss Wanda, Miss Chantel, I do sleep. But I
Yes.
also make sure to do like self-care type things. So I'm really big into hobby things. I make jewelry. I also got my mom into making jewelry as well to assist with rehabbing her after her stroke, because of the fine motor skills that you have to pick up the beads and to pick up the different
Oh, okay.
materials.
That's
Um,
nice.
so we do jewelry making. I also paint on canvas. I'll write poetry. I'll listen to music. I'll schedule times on the weekend when I'm not working, and also when my mom's okay and she's resting after dialysis that Friday, I'll make sure to just like try to go out if I can, if I'm not too exhausted from work and everything else, just to get that time where I could just drive around and listen to music. And if I'm not like going to browse or going to like shop or something, that I'm just driving around and I'm just in my
Mm,
car, listen to my favorite songs, like the old school, playlist, and
Oh,
I'm just having
sweet.
a good time. Or I'm on Bluetooth talking to my best friend. I'll go get my nails done. My roots are a little.
that's
I need a little
a
touch
lot.
up. Um,
You do a
just
lot, honey. Wait, I
Yeah,
say
that sounds
sleep.
like a
little
dream
touch
in
up.
my
Yeah, you do
world.
But
a lot.
you just, you know,
Wanda.
if you don't
Wanda.
do that stuff for
What?
yourself, you kind
Wait.
of you kind of lose yourself.
Yeah, Wanda
Yeah, you
talk about
do.
Candace do a
You
lot.
do.
Wanda, you don't do nothing but sleep. I ain't had my nails done in so long.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And it's hard. But Monique, you don't
What's
have
the
me time, or do
song?
you have me time?
I write books, so um
I write
um
books too,
yeah,
Monique. And you know what, Monique?
yeah.
I just found out me and you was friends on Facebook.
We are,
I
yes.
know. I just found
Oh wow,
because I be trying to not investigate people, but I be trying to look people up, like who gonna be on my show. And I was like, oh man, I'm friends on Facebook. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd be a
But
guest if you
what?
have me. I'd be a guest, but I have my podcast having a moment with Moni where I pour out.
See, I ain't know
That's a
you had
great
that
way.
either.
oh
I
wow.
have grief. My books are Grief is a Gangster, um,
I like that
Caregiver
title.
CPR. What when I'm talking about preventing caregiver burnout and what to do to prevent yourself from going there, or if you're already there, what to do.
I like
My
that.
children's book is Jeremiah the Jackrabbit. I turned my son into a superhero. He's a disabled rabbit in the forest, and
Oh,
nobody knew. Yeah, and everybody thinks he's a weirdo until he does
Uh,
something extraordinary.
That's cool.
And so, yeah, so I do a little bit of that. I'm always walking around humming or singing or something. I
oh
don't
wow.
get to bowl and stuff anymore because I got injured, so I had to take a break from doing bowling. But lately, I'm gonna go
mhm.
admit, y'all, I have not done much of anything. I kind of
Yeah, me neither.
became a hermit, and so I knew that at that point I needed to go back to therapy and get clarity on some things and address some feelings and emotions. And so
Mhm.
I've been going outside. I've been going outside. No, I'm serious. Because I've been in the house. I have not driven my car since November.
For real?
Oh wow.
I've
Oh
been in
wow.
the house all day, every day.
Hmm.
I would
Mm.
only go outside
Okay,
to check
save
the
gas.
mailbox, or I would only go
That
out to
sounds
check the
stressful right
mailbox.
there,
I'm
Monique.
like, yes,
I'm
yes,
serious.
save
I'm
gas.
just being honest. I was so exhausted that I just kind of just confined myself to, go cooking and doing whatever for Jeremiah and just being in my room trying to get my thoughts together. I would go outside to check the mailbox or go get a package or something, and that would be the end of that. Every time I thought about getting dressed to go somewhere, I would feel so heavy and so something, and I just would be like, well, maybe tomorrow. And then too many tomorrows went by, and I said, okay, Monique, you got to get it together because I'm social. I'm very social. I'm a very bubbly person. I love to talk and hang out and all that, and I wasn't doing any of that.
That sounds
Mm,
like depressed. Like you
It
was depressed.
was. It
Yeah.
was.
yeah.
That's what I'm about to
I was
say.
what
Yeah.
you call I was what you call a functioning person with depression because you had the obvious symptoms like sadness and all that. I wasn't sad or anything like that. I was just trying to figure out life. Like, what is my life gonna look like on this second half now that my son is an adult and you know, as a woman trying to, figure out what you want in life, and stuff like that. So I had to deal with it before it
Mm-hmm.
dealt with me. So that's what I've been doing. So
Mhm.
I've been doing my steps, y'all. Been going outside, getting some sun, phoning a friend and doing all that stuff because
Good.
I had to dismiss the idea of keep hearing, oh, you're the strong one. And we need to
Mm,
dispel that. You being
Yeah.
strong does not mean you don't ask for help
mm,
and you don't show emotion and all that. That's not what strength is.
Right.
Strength is the actual opposite. You're asking for help. You're trying to figure out creative ways to do what you need to do. God ain't tell you to be strong. Nowhere in His Word does it say that. It says be
mm.
strong in the Lord
Right.
and in the power of His might, not you. So Once we dismiss that, a lot of that stuff that we deal with and handle, it'll fade away because we realize that we're not robots and we're
Right.
not immortal.
Right.
We're not
Mhm.
Superman or Superwoman. Take the cape off. It's okay. You
Right.
know,
Mm.
take that time for yourself and cry if you need to. I think I cry almost
Yeah.
every day or every other day because I'm still grieving the loss of my grandmother and my sister and all that kind of stuff. I did not
Yeah.
even realize, you guys, that I never accepted the fact that my son had
Yeah.
cerebral palsy. I knew he had it because I deal with it every day, but I did not accept it within,
Yeah.
and that was what was killing me. So I had to
Mm.
cry it out. I had to cry it out and say, "Okay, God, this is it."
Yeah.
So how long
So
it
now
took you
what?
to accept, Monique?
This just happened 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
From 24 years. I mean, when you go
wow.
Wow.
through the level of, well, I've been through a lot of stuff, so maybe when we do an interview I'll discuss all that. But when you've gone through the level of trauma and stuff that I've gone through, it's like your body and your brain just be like, you know what, we're not gonna do nothing else, so that way we won't be hurt, we won't be poked at, nobody will bother me, just leave me alone and let me live.
Yeah.
Right.
And so when something happens, you be like, Lord, again, how much do you want me to go through to prove to you that I'm the strong one or whatever? You know how you think in your head?
Mm.
And so
Yeah.
it's like, okay, Lord, now what? Okay, I'm not strong anymore. I don't want to be the strong one anymore. I'm tired. I done it. So just 2 weeks ago I had to sit in it, y'all, and I'm serious. I had to sit in it
Hmm.
Wow.
It's
and just
crazy.
let the emotions come out because you do what you're supposed to do for your children because you love them and you want the best life for them. And in the
Right.
midst of that, you give up your own life over and over and over again because you're trying to overcompensate to make them feel loved and happy and wanted. And I'm like, my son is happy and loved just the way he is. I'm the one that got the problem.
Mm.
I'm the one that got to see it in a different headspace and do a different, see it in a different perspective. And so 2 weeks ago, this is what I did. I sat there and said, well,
Did you feel
this is
better?
this. Not in the beginning, no, because it was so much built up. I had to, go layer. Whatever
Yeah.
emotion came up, why do I feel that way? What is causing me to, feel this anger? I'm frustrated. Why am I frustrated? Is it because of something that I know that I can't do and I'm still trying to do it anyway? Or is it because I've done it and it didn't go the way I wanted it to? So
Hmm.
you have those moments. I've learned a lot in therapy. I thank God for counselors like Sis up there and all that. We listen. I need it. I'm gonna tell you right now. I need it because I've been taking care of people my whole life. So that's pretty much all I know. And now that I don't really have to do it as much and things like that, I'm having a hard time. Like my caregiver comes in and they're like, "Why are you still doing that?" That's what I'm here for because I've been doing it so long. It's a
Yes.
reflex.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 I
So your
don't
Absolutely.
know how to
nature.
not let you do that. I don't know how to let go and say, "Hey, go ahead and take it," without me saying, "Wait, don't do that. Let me
Yeah.
help you." And he's like, "Get out of my way." And I'm like, "You know what? Just let me look. Look, I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna catch on. I promise." And so now I've gotten to the point where I let him bathe my son and change him and do all that. And I'm sitting here like this, "Go me, woo!" You let go.
Right.
So I don't
It's a
Right.
have to, I
milestone.
don't have to, yeah, I don't have to worry about that stuff. But it took me a while because mom brain says, this is your child, this is your responsibility, so do it.
Right.
But
Hmm.
like I said, the human part say, okay, you keep going, we gonna fall out because we're tired and
Mhm.
exhausted. So I'm
Yeah.
learning how to do better self-care for myself instead of doing it for everybody else. Because that's what I do. I do it for everybody else. I'm the rescue
Right.
ranger. You know how we
Mm.
are. We're the rescue ranger, the family, and all that stuff. But we don't
Yeah.
do none of that for us.
I
Nope.
feel you,
If you
Monique.
if you called me
Nope.
today and said buy me a $200 watch, if I had $200, I'd go buy you a watch. But then if I go to that same store see it, I'll go, maybe I'll wait to get it. I don't need it right now. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's bad. We gotta
Doing
put
for
ourselves
others.
first and make us out. Yeah, we gotta make ourselves our first priority.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's hard. It's really hard when you take care of a loved one though. It's hard.
Yeah, because you don't know what's gonna happen next. Like cerebral
Right.
palsy is a complex medical condition. So one day my son is fine, and the next day he's having spasms and stuff because that's what cerebral palsy does, and then something
Yeah.
else may happen that I wasn't aware of. So it's like in our mind, it's like, here we go, it's stacking again. Now
Mm-hmm.
what? Now
Mm-hmm.
what? And so it's like, okay, can I get through this one thing first without all these other things? But you have to deal with all of it at once because it goes together. You
Right.
can't
Mm.
separate one thing from another. So this is why self-care is important because you're piled on every day, all day. And even when you're trying to sleep, like me, your brain is saying, Monique, don't forget tomorrow you gotta do this. Wait, look at your calendar. Don't you got something
Me
to do this
too. Me
afternoon?
too.
Same. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And you're
It's a
already on
running
next
list.
week. Yes,
Yeah.
and you're already on next week, next month. Oh, don't let me forget to order supplies. Don't let me forget mama's,
Hmm.
mama's medicine or my son's this and that. It's like, look,
Yeah.
shut up. I'm trying to go to
Yeah.
sleep.
Yes.
And then you forget about what you need to do
Yeah,
for
and you
yourself.
don't do
Right.
it. Yep, and
Yeah.
I don't do it. I mean, me getting my hair done is probably the most self-care that I actually do outside
And you
of
need that.
online. Outside of online shopping. Like I haven't been to the movies in I don't know how long, and I've been paying for the AMC guest pass since it came out. I used to love to go to the movies. Like I said, I haven't driven in over a month, so that goes to
Wow.
show you where I have been or where I haven't been. Nowhere but in my room.
Right.
Mm.
So I'm doing better. I'm doing way better than I expected, to be honest, because I was like, listen, if I don't do something else different, it's not going to be a great situation. And like Sis said over there,
Yeah.
it all falls on you. It's going to fall apart. If you go down, the whole ship is gone.
There it
It's
is.
Titanic
Right.
over here in my
There it
case.
is.
I'm
Right.
the Titanic. If I go down, that's it.
That's it.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, we can't do that. We're not going to do
Right.
that. So you need to get yourself up and do what you need to do and make it happen. And so that's what I do.
Yeah.
And Miss Mayo, what do you do? Because we talked about it, Miss Mayo. You don't have. Do you have me time now?
Um, really. No, I prefer. I like going to the spa for my me time. Like
Oh, I
anything
would
that
love
has,
to.
yeah, the
Me too.
spa, hair done, my nails done, shopping, eating. I love to
Oh
eat.
yeah, me too.
But no, I don't have that much me time. My girls are still in every extracurricular activity that they schedule would allow them to be in.
Yeah.
Busy, busy.
Yeah, they're busy. Right after the panel, I'm gonna take them over to community church for I forgot what it's something about Christmas. I'm not even sure what the
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
community church.
yeah
Community church. They having something today?
they having something tonight. I forgot what is. I think it was all week. This is the last day. Is that
Yeah,
that?
because I think they had something
Mm.
last week or like a Christmas Wonderland or something
Yeah,
like
but
that.
that's
They had.
exactly what it is. Christmas Wonderland. So I'm supposed to take
Okay.
there after that.
Mm.
Oh, okay. So before I let y'all go, I want Candace, if you can do something that you missed out on doing being a caregiver, what would it be?
Wow, that's a good one.
If I could do something that I missed
That
out
you
on,
missed out doing while being a caregiver, what would it be?
I would go back to college and get my PhD.
Go back
Mm.
to
I
college.
would go back to college.
Ooh.
I would probably go back to college almost full time and try to manage it with my full time work schedule. And I would be a student in college and I would be probably a full time or part time worker. But
Oh,
I
okay.
can't, I could never see my life any way else because I love my mom so much that I couldn't imagine where else. If
Right.
she wasn't here with me, I mean, besides education, which I love
Yeah.
learning, I'm a student of life. Besides that, there would be nowhere else I would want to be. If I wasn't
Mm,
learning, I would not want to be without my mother. So
yeah. So
I don't
that's
Chantel.
exactly.
I don't think it's anything that I would change because I probably was fortunate to have support. So um I was able to do everything that I wanted to do. I finished school. I got my degrees. I got the job that I want. So I don't think it's anything that I would do different. My daughter is well traveled. So like I didn't miss anything. I just included her with me once she graduated and we travel together. She has a passport. Like my grandfather, he loves to travel. So I don't really miss out on anything. If it's stuff that we want to do, we just plan it all together.
Mm.
It's
Okay.
beautiful.
Wanda.
Nothing. Everything that I done accomplished, I did everything. Went to school, cooking school. Sure, I mean I cook, so I mean I'm good where I'm at. So it was not change. Be a caregiver. I love feeding people. I love being around people, kids and all. I mean I'm like a clown with the kids, but you know what I mean. I just love to have fun. I'm just a fun person. Put it like that. So you enjoy me no matter what. You enjoy my food and you enjoy my company. So I wouldn't change nothing.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Monique.
I would say change nothing either. I would just travel more with my son. I can't travel with him by myself because he needs to be lifted and all that. I love taking long drives and going to see different states and sceneries. So that would be one thing I would love to do. Take him on a Disney cruise or something like that. So he can have a life too. So that would be what I would do.
Mm.
That'd
And
be
Miss
nice.
Mayo.
Is there something that I would like to do that I didn't do?
Right.
Go to Italy. I want to try to stay,
Ooh,
but I don't
You
have
said
the.
go to Italy?
do it. Do it.
Yes, Paris. Yes, do it. Look, let's
Yes.
let's let's connect so we can go because I want
Let's
to go
go.
too.
Uh-huh.
Oh, bring your son. I'll help you take care of him, and I.
Caregiver trip.
See that?
Oh,
That just warmed my heart
okay.
though. See
Yeah.
that?
Okay, that's called team caregiver. Team
Right.
caregiver.
Oh,
Uh-huh. If we can find
Team,
a that does dialysis, can I come and bring my mom too?
of course.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
that's
Absolutely.
good because we all wait, we got switched around, I see on the screen.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. You pushed something and we got
Yeah.
switched.
I
Yep.
have a
Oh,
girls
oh, okay.
watch everyone.
But so caregivers wanted to care of her
Well, I'm in North
grandfather
Carolina.
or father, uh,
Yeah.
Candace doing her mother, Monique doing the son, and
And
Chantel the
brother.
daughter and the grandfather. And you said what, brother?
Yeah, my
Grandmother.
brother has autism. My brother.
Oh, your brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow. And sometimes you just gotta let loose. I don't know. I just don't know what to say because I think and I agree everybody do need me time. Sometimes you gotta put yourself first,
Yeah.
which I don't do, and I'm sure a lot of y'all don't do, put yourself first because you can't do nothing without ain't nothing gonna get done without you.
Right.
Right.
So if you
Right.
sick with high
So you
blood
gotta do
pressure
it.
and in the bed, you can't get up. Ain't nothing gonna get done, right, Wanda? Because I know Wanda
Nope.
said she was doing everything with her. It was your sister, right, or your
Yes.
daughter? Yeah.
My
So
sister.
yeah, so ain't nothing gonna get done. So we got to change our state of mind. Like we got to
Right.
start taking
Yes.
care of ourselves. I need to go get my
Absolutely.
nails done. Y'all see this?
Yeah.
Do it.
Where's everybody at? I'm in Maryland, so where is every outside of sis who was in Indiana?
I'm
I'm
Where's
in
in
the
North
everybody else
Poconos.
Carolina.
at?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
in
in the
South
Poconos.
Indiana.
Carolina.
Oh, so everybody, okay. We're all
Wait,
spread
who
out.
else in South Carolina?
Me, Miss Charnel, I moved back to South Carolina in
Yeah, in New
December.
York.
No, I'm not in New York. I've been gone since December. I came back to
Mm.
care for my granddaddy.
Oh,
Oh,
and you sound
wow.
country. You don't even sound like you was in New York. Y'all hear that Bible? She got that she sound country. Wanda,
Yes.
South Carolina or North Carolina?
North Carolina.
Oh, okay. And where you at,
Okay. And I'm in Maryland. I'm right around the corner from the Commander Stadium. I can literally walk there.
but you ain't gonna do that, right, Monique? Maybe one day.
Not nobody know
Get
Commanders
out that
fan.
house. You got to get out that house,
No,
Monique.
I do get out the house, but I'm saying I'm not a Commanders fan.
Oh, So I want to thank y'all ladies for being on this show. We need to connect. Everybody need to connect and follow everybody.
Yes, friend
If y'all didn't
request.
go to
Yep.
my
Yes,
YouTube channel, could y'all please go subscribe to my YouTube channel if y'all haven't yet? And
I subscribed.
oh, thank you, Candace. I know everybody else subscribed. I
You're
think
welcome.
Candace
I
was
I
did.
think
late
I
I
on
just
did
that.
too.
learned how to do a phone. I just learned how to do
Yeah, I
this
just
phone.
learned how to subscribe, so I think I did it.
Uh, Chantel, if you didn't, you will be. I will be inboxing you later on. But
Okay.
do anybody got any last words about being a caregiver? And like, no, before we get to the last word, I want to know about how serious it is being a caregiver. You know, a lot of people, like we just said, don't take their job serious. People want to talk, people want to smile, people want to talk to you. So, in your Monique, in your words, how serious it is that you have to give your not all in all, because we do need me time. How
Right.
Hmm.
what how much how, how can I say this? How much are you willing or have you willing to give as being a caregiver? Because I know you
Everything.
everything.
Because my son can't do anything for himself. So if I don't do whatever it is, it's not going to get done at all. So it's that serious. It's like a
It
doctor
is.
give a patient the wrong medicine or something, or
Thank you.
fail to.
Yeah.
You can't miss a
You're
you
right.
can't miss a moment. You can't miss the verbal cues or the physical, the body language and all that. It's really that paramount because he can't say, "Mommy, my head hurt. Mommy,
Right.
my leg hurt." I have to just watch and see his demeanor and stuff and know
Uh,
it's his mom, because I've been doing it so long. So it's
Right.
yeah.
very important. One miscue is life or death. Let me say that lay it like that.
Hmm.
Caregiving is a life or death situation for somebody like my son.
Yep.
So that's how serious
Hmm.
it is.
And Chantel,
I'll say now because my grandfather was diagnosed with dementia.
Mm,
On top of stage 4 kidney failure. Like
hmm.
it's
Jesus.
very detrimental. And as a veteran, I look at how many people don't have someone that can advocate for them. Because if
Hmm.
I when I wasn't here, my grandfather was without a lot of stuff that he had to pay for. But now that I'm here to advocate for him, he's getting a lot more things paid through the VA that he wasn't aware of, because they don't
Right.
just broadcast this is what we offer or this is what we pay for.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
I just imagine how many veterans out there who don't have family members that can advocate for them, that could be getting services that they don't know how to get the services.
Was it hard for you, Chantel, to go about getting the services for?
I'm not going to say it was hard, but it just takes a lot of time and a lot of patience because they ask for
Yes.
everything, because it's the federal
Hmm.
government. So even becoming his official caregiver, you have to go through. I felt like I was going through a job interview because they ask for everything. They do
Mm.
Yep.
background checks. They
Hmm.
did everything but ask for a fingerprint.
Right.
So
And you know what?
Yep.
That's true because now that we starting the process in PA, and I think I talked to Mayo about that. Now that we start, like when we did it in Jersey, it was so quick and it was so easy. They didn't do no background. They didn't do none of that. You understand what I'm saying? Now in PA, they want background check, fingerprints. Then if a child live with you younger, you got to do what you call that. The Mayo, what you call that? The
it's
children thing. If you got like a child living near, what's
Child
it
Oh,
called?
I
abuse.
The
know what you're
parent?
talking about. It's the
Yeah,
background for to see if you had like any prior investigations or
for
anything
children.
against
Yeah.
Child abuse
vulnerable people.
clearance. Child
Hmm.
abuse
Yeah.
clearance.
Yeah, the children clearance. That's a lot. We ain't do none of that in Jersey. They just took the ID, I think the social security card, and next thing you know, everything was okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But it's just like in different states, everything is different. Like
Yeah.
in different states. Like, was it hard for anybody to get care for their loved ones that they taking care of in your state?
Yeah. Maryland is horrible.
Oh,
Mm.
It took me 2 years or so
mm,
to finally be paid as his caregiver now that he's an adult because Maryland, they advertise it like all you gotta do is, but it's not even the truth. It's far from the
Mm.
mm,
truth. They do
Right.
background checks and all of that. The paperwork gotta be right. Then they come out and do, visit to see what your loved one is capable of doing or not, and they give them
Hmm.
a score. Based on that score, they determine what the state of Maryland is going to pay for as far as services and your salary.
Mm.
Right.
So yeah, it's tedious. It's a lot of paperwork, a lot of back and forth meetings and stuff, all of that. When they do
Yeah.
budgets, because there's money involved, they make sure you ain't got nothing hiding under the kitchen sink, under your car, nothing. They make sure you ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. And
Yeah.
it's horrible because him being the adult and having disability and all that kind of stuff, if anybody gives him money, then they take back their help.
Mm.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
Have to do it as a
because
gift.
yeah, not even that, because SSI is income based. So even if you give it as a gift, SSI will stop until he spends the money.
Get
Right.
out of here.
They don't tell you that.
Yeah,
Mm.
South Carolina is a little bit different. If you do it as a gift, that's fine. But
Hmm.
like what I had to go through with my daughter, her grandmother passed and left her an insurance policy, and I had to go through getting an attorney to, like, it's a bunch of stuff. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
but how long you think she's supposed to be able to live off right?
yeah.
They want you to be absolutely broke, showing no income, nothing coming
Thank you.
in order for
Hmm.
them
Yep.
to help.
And they do, and they want their money back, right? If you come into a lawsuit or something, don't they want their money back? Social Security?
I'm not sure.
Some of
What
them
do you
do.
mean by a lawsuit?
Like, say, like if you just had a car, like the grandmother left your daughter a amount of money, and they found out about it. Don't you got to repay that? They with the Social
No.
No,
Security they're giving you,
They'll
no.
just cut you off.
They'll just cut you
cut you
off until you
off.
Yeah.
spend the money. Yeah,
But the thing is,
yeah,
as an adult, my daughter was able to get an able account. I know in every state it may be a little bit different, but getting her an able account after I got an attorney, um, to do like all the paperwork for me to become the because even as her mother, which I didn't agree with, I had to get power of attorney to be able to make
yeah.
decisions for her.
Yep.
Even though I'm legally her mother, I still had to go through and get the appropriate paperwork. So
Wow.
you can get an able account, and it allows you to
What
transfer
is
so
an
much
able
money.
account? Could you explain that, Chantel? What is an
So
able account? I don't know.
like I said, every state is different because it was a little bit different as far as how much money is allowed to be in the able account. Like New York was a little
Yeah.
bit higher, South Carolina is a little bit lower. They only allow you to put $18,000 per year into the able account.
Yeah.
But basically, what it is like any money that you have, because South Carolina, you can only have $2,000 in your account.
Yeah.
Same
Um,
here.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Hmm.
then any money outside of that, you'll be deemed ineligible to receive like Social Security benefits. So if you put it in an able account doesn't count towards the income. So
Mm.
Mm.
Yep. And then the caveat to that is you can't just go take the money out either
yeah,
when you
Right.
Damn.
want
well,
to.
it's
It,
stipulations
Not
on it.
here in Maryland. Yeah, not here in Maryland. You can't just go take the money out. You have to have what they call that, a trust person, like a trust fund type thing. You gotta send, you gotta request it and tell them exactly what you want to withdraw it for, and all
Mm.
that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, South
Yeah,
Carolina is different. I have
yeah,
access to the account, but like if Social Security, they asked me in the beginning to if I withdrew any money, they wanted like a receipt showing what the money was used for.
hmm,
But I don't think
yep,
they do that like ongoing. I think just in the beginning when you're trying to establish benefits, they're gonna ask that information.
Mm.
yeah. It's supposed to be set up so because your loved ones can't manage their own finances and all that. And like she said, if they have more than $2,000 in the account, they won't get food stamps, they won't get Medicaid, they won't get anything. So they
Yep.
created this as a barrier so that they can still live and have a life, and they can have money if they need it for something.
and
But
then
of
Right.
they want,
course, it's not without its, problems and challenges, of course.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it only covers for certain things. Like I think you just can't use the
Hmm.
able account to buy everything. It has to be
Nope.
like for medical, It could be
Yep.
used for food expenses. So you just can't go like anywhere and use the card. You have to use it for something that's
Wow.
household
Covered.
expenses or stuff like that.
Yep.
Hmm. Like every state is different. So y'all ladies, anybody got any last words they want to say out before I let y'all go? But I want to say something first. I want to thank all of y'all for being on Let's Talk to Podcast. And I want everybody to follow one another. If you're on social
Right.
media, everybody, because we got to support one another. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Let's follow one
Mhm.
another and reach out to one another if we need it. Because Candace need our help. Right, Candace?
Yes, yes, I do. Please follow me, you all, everyone in this group.
Okay.
I would love to hear from you all, and I would love to offer my assistance or support as well. I want to be part of your tribe, so please let me in. Um, and you can come and be part of mine too. Miss Jarnell, thank you so much for letting me be here. You can follow me on TikTok if you have TikTok. I'm at a beloved queen 17. You can also find me Facebook, Beloved Queen, first name Beloved, last name Queen. And then on
Amen.
Instagram, you can find me, same thing, A Beloved Queen 17, just how it's
Okay.
spelled.
Okay.
And
So
like
just
I said,
thank you for
everybody
letting me
follow
be
my.
here.
You're welcome, no problem. Everybody follow my pages. Let's Talk to Podcast and subscribe to please y'all go subscribe to my YouTube
YouTube
page.
channel.
Yeah, go
Hmm.
subscribe to my YouTube page. And plus, let me let y'all know this. I'm next year, 2025, coming up for Charnel Williams. I will be having my 2025 Yana. You're not alone empowerment. Chantel, no. You're not alone empowerment coming up, and I will be looking for speakers. And just to let y'all know, y'all donate y'all time. I don't pay y'all for speaking. So I just wanted to clear the air with that. And y'all donate y'all time, and then y'all just come for wherever I'm going to be at, where I'm gonna be at. And I want to give it in Atlanta City. I'm not sure, but probably be Atlanta City. But I might just give it back in the Poconos. I don't know.
Dang, I
But
gotta come way out there. Sorry.
Now I'm close. I'm
Come
close to
on,
Atlantic City though. Atlantic City is doable. I
what you
can do
say?
Atlantic City. I say I
Atlanta
live.
City.
I'm not. Yeah,
And I
that's
was
only like
thinking
a
about
couple of
Atlanta
hours
City.
away.
I was thinking about Atlanta City because y'all know what? Because I always do it the weekend of Mother's Day, and y'all know what? It always something to do in Atlanta City.
Oh,
My
okay.
Yeah.
my woman's apartment only is one day, but y'all can spend a weekend down there. Go to the
Yeah.
casinos, the outlet, go eat. There's a lot you can do in Atlanta City. Everybody, when you say Atlanta City or Vegas, they just think gambling.
Right.
No, it's not
Yeah,
just
it's
gambling.
way more stuff to do.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff to do. But again, Mayo, do you have any last words? I just call you Mayo, like Miss Mayo. Do you have any last words?
I just want you ladies to know that you are doing a wonderful job being caregivers and continue on what you're doing. And remember that there's other people out there in this field that do care about your loved ones because I care about everyone. I cry with people. I give people
Hmm.
sometimes I go out my way and I'm like, well, if you don't have any food, I'll go buy you food and I go back to the office. They like, Alicia, you're not supposed to do this and you're not supposed to. I continue to do it because this is what I love to do.
Hmm.
Right.
Right.
And Wanda, you have any
Yes.
last words?
No, just thank you for having me on your show, and everybody, y'all continue
Why,
doing what y'all do, and God bless y'all.
Wanda?
Yes.
Wanda, why are you
Yes.
sitting in the dark?
I'm not in the dark.
Oh, okay.
I'm it's probably
Okay,
low.
okay, Wanda, okay. Candace,
Dad,
did
you
you go
want to see
already?
me?
Did you have any last words or did you say it already?
Oh, just once again, thank you so much for having me here. And I would love to hear from you all again. I really appreciate it. Caregiving, like I said, has always been in my family and also in my nature. And I love what I do and I love the people that I do it for, not just my mother, but other people that I service in my full-time job. I give my heart to people. I wear my heart on my sleeve. And I try to help and speak up for people who can't speak for themselves. So this has been a really great experience to share part of who I am with you all. So I'm just so grateful. Thank you for letting me be here.
Thank you. Monique, did you go already? Your last word?
Understand that caregiving is a ministry. And like ministry, even Jesus rested. So you better get your rest and take care of yourself.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Love on yourself first, build your community. And when you need to phone a friend, do that. It's not a sign of weakness, it's actually a sign of strength. I'm proud of all of us for forging ahead because it is not easy. We have every reason to say no, thank you. But thank God for strength and grace. And I look forward to connecting with all of you guys.
And again, I want to thank
Sound
everybody.
good.
And again, I want to thank everybody for being on Let's Talk To podcast. And if y'all want to come on, do y'all individuals, y'all can go to Let's Talk To podcast and sign up. Okay?
Okay.
Thank y'all,
Thank
everybody.
you for having
Merry
me.
Christmas.
All
Merry
right.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas,
Christmas.
Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye.
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 Welcome to Let's Talk To podcast, hosted by author Charnel Williams. Are you ready to spend some time with Charnel and her special guest?